Hello everyone. Cool, so today's Wednesday, and as usual we're going to be looking at the sentiment tool, sentiment data in a sense, and for that we're going to be looking at the same sort of, I actually spelled it wrong. It was supposed to be euro dollar here, but that's okay. We're gonna go through that, and I will be guiding you guys through. Now, there's a today may be a little bit more quicker in a sense because it's only 3 pairs and there's not much to talk about. So I'm just going to go run through the pairs. If you guys have any questions, I will answer those questions as usual. Okay, guys. There's a lot of people joining us now. That's great. So let me come back one. So if you go to ACY Securities website, you can see, let me come back. You can see to learn, and then you go into market analysis or education, it doesn't matter. And then you have Jasper. So that's the other analyst. Now, moving on. Let's go for FinLogix. Okay, so let's go into finlogix.com and let's go into tools, and then we go into market sentiment. I'm gonna send that into the chat so you guys have the link to join. It's a quicker way, so I don't want to waste too much time on that. Okay, so we do have a few trades here. For those who don't remember, we had a few trades last week. So it was Euro Yen. Okay, let me go for the 1 hour chart. So it was Euro Yen that was very, like far away from our entry. We had US dollar Japanese yen as well. So US dollar Japanese yen hit a take profit. So this trade here hit a take profit, and then of course these trades are no longer valid because this one already hit a take profit. And then we had New Zealand against the US dollar. If I'm not wrong, it was New Zealand. Yeah, and New Zealand against the US dollar is playing at the moment. Okay, so it's a live position at the moment. So we basically had one being Euro Yen not being triggered. Okay. The other one was US dollar Japanese yen into profit of around 174 pips profit, and New Zealand against the US dollar, USD now into profit of very few, but let me check how much that is, like around 10 pips. Okay, not even 10 pips. Would see 80 points, but that's like 8 pips actually. Okay, so the trades from last week still running. There's nothing wrong with them. Sometimes it can take a bit longer, and that's completely fine. And as I say, this is a swing trading strategy. At the same time, we had like US dollar Japanese yen having the target hit in less than a week or so. It's very important for us to understand that it depends in a lot of circumstances. It's not only like, oh, okay, cool, that's it, and we have to the position has to be closed in a week. No, it's not like that. You need to understand that sometimes there's other influences into the market that can take some more time, and maybe can take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It just depends. Okay, but mainly the most important is that you be patient, and if you know that you can't handle the trade in a sense, then reduce your positions and, go and close half of the position, and then goes like that. Okay, so most important is, of course, don't overtrade, if you know what I mean. Okay, hopefully I've made that clear. Now, before we go to the positions and go into the FinLogic sentiment tool, I want to show a few things. Now, I have a question first before actually talking about that. Have you guys been paying attention on the Jackson Hole event? Just give me a yes or no answer so we can move on. Okay, Stuart says no. That's fine. That's okay. No worries. Sweet says not really. Okay. Okay. Casey said yes. That's really good. David say yes as well. Eugene say yes. Wow, that's really good, guys. And Suleiman say no. So we had pretty much 3 no's and 3 yes. So half. Interesting. No, for those who Nakash say yes, actually it was dovish almost. That you just perfectly answer my next question without knowing my next question. But anyway, I was going to ask what did you guys found most of the Jackson Hole for those who say yes? And already Nakash answered my question. It was dovish. Okay, such a dovish move that so dovish that if we go to the CME Fed Watch tool. Just wait that to load. I'm going to send that into the chat for everyone. Such a dovish move that is now pricing 87.3%. Okay, let's call this 100%. Pretty much. 90% of a chance of a 25 basis point cut. So yes, it's huge, and it's a very, very big probability of that happening, as we can clearly see. Now, for October, chances are to 50% of no cuts. Okay, because remember, we are in 425 to 450. If we do a 25 basis point cut, we would go to 425. So therefore, 50% chances are to maintain the same as September. But there is a 43% chance, okay? There's a 43% chance of of another 25 basis point cut. So bear in mind, guys, if the NFP comes in weak next week, right? So basically in a week, so the next Friday of the next month, so in a few days, then this can become a higher chance of another cut, okay, for the month of October. We also got the PPIs. No, not PPIs. Yeah, I think no, it's not the PPIs. There's something we're gonna have a look later, but I've just completely forgot now. For the US app on Friday of this month. Okay, so let me just double check that very quick for everyone. Just checking on my phone, guys. Sorry. So this week, for Friday, we got the PCE. Okay, so we got the PCE, the price producer consumption expenditure that we're gonna have for the US. So that's very important as well. Okay, just remember that this can be one of the triggers to make this 50 another 25 basis points cut higher than the 50. We only need literally so let's call this 43, sorry. We only need another 7 to 8% floating on here to have a higher probability. Okay, now on December, interesting enough, we have a 25 basis points cut, very priced in, 49.1%. And we also have a 50 basis point cut priced in of 34.7% priced in. So that's quite interesting how that is going. Okay, so just make sure to follow the CME. Do you guys use the CME? Do you have any questions about the CME? No questions? Okay. If you guys have any questions about the CME, just literally just send me a message and I will try to answer that as well. Now, um, going back to the FinLogics, we have okay, so Casey said, what is it in full? You mean what basically is the CME? Fed watch? Is that the question? I'm thinking, what is CME in full? Oh, okay. Is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Okay. So it's basically the liquidity provider in a sense for NASDAQ, S&P, options, derivatives, that kind of thing, futures market, that kind of thing. So it's basically the stock exchange for US. Okay. So Chicago Mercantile Exchange, this one. So if you go into images, you can see that it's basically the big boys of the financial market. Okay, so that's ages ago, of course, but you can see on the pit, as they say, the pit was here. Okay, of course today is all electronically, and we don't have people. We still have some, but we don't have people like that anymore. Okay. So that's about it. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Okay. Did that answer your question? I think I did. Yes. Okay, that's great. So we can move on. Cool. So for today, let's have a look here. So we got Euro Aussie, we got pound dollar, we got Euro yen, US dollar yen, New Zealand dollar yen, New Zealand dollar. So I mainly first I want to show here pretty quick. That move here was basically the Jackson Hole speech, and basically, I'm sorry, and basically the Fed, well, not the Fed, Jerome Powell saying that he's more open to cuts. Okay, so that means if he's open to cuts, most likely we will have some sort of dovish rhetoric from the Fed. Okay, so that's the whole point of this move down here. But pay attention, because after that we can see the move already going up and reversing all the down move up in less than, I don't know, 3 days. Pretty much the whole move happening. Let me just check here. So from today to the bottom of this range, it's 4 days. Yeah, 4 days and 12 hours. So it's an interesting move, I would say, and we have to make sure to be visible and be understanding that. Remember, my target for the DXY is at 97, so I'm strongly believing on a downtrend for the US dollar index. Okay. In my opinion, that's where we're heading for the US dollar index. Very down. Okay. Cool. Now moving on over here, we have a pound dollar only 32% long. That's a very interesting position because, as I say, I'm a strong believer of the US dollar going down. And right now we are on a pretty much perfect spot to long that. All right. This position has been here for quite a while, but I just want to reintegrate this position. And for those who still on the position, you can keep your positions open. That's from 2 weeks ago, and there's nothing wrong with it. As I say, it may take some time, but better than ever this moment. Okay, we are literally coming back onto this pullback. So I will be a buyer of euros. I will be a buyer of pounds, yens, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, whenever there's a dip. Okay. So for instance, we had a dip here at from 135, well, pretty much 136 down to 1.34. Now coming around the 1.34 500. If we look, there's a higher probability of us having a position here and just at the market price, and my stop loss is a bit tighter just below these lows. Okay, if the market goes below these lows, I'm no longer interested to have a position over there. Okay, so for this reason, I believe onto a long position around here. Okay, now we need to keep watching how this will develop during the NFP next week. Of course, we're going to have another webinar next Wednesday. We will chat about that, but we need to have some certain around how will the NFP come. If the NFP comes very low, as it did last month, there's definitely a higher probability of this trade hitting the take profit. Okay, very high probability. If we don't have that, I would say NFP low, we may continue to see some strength on the pound, but not as I wish. Sweet says, what low are you talking about that will invalidate the pound trade? It's just those two lows here. Let me show you. So just those two lows, in my opinion, is not the, if it goes below there, I think it's invalidated in my opinion. But I'm trying to place my stop losses below these wicks here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 6 touches on this area. Well, around 6 to 7 touches on this area. So I believe that this is a good area. So if it goes maybe below that, I'm not willing to carry the trade for longer. So my first trade would be the pound dollar long going to 1.37 to 100. Entry is on the entry price. Okay, same entry. It's on the entry price at the moment. And then that would be about it. Okay, cool. Now, next one is the euro yen, as I've mentioned. On the euro yen, actually, let me go for euro dollar first. So euro dollar is over here. It's a long position as well, 40%. So meaning that majority is shorting. So what we want to do is we want to do the opposite of the majority, and we want to long that. So if the majority was longing, if 60% was long, then I would be looking to go short. My first potential target for the euro dollar has been for quite a while the levels of 117.500. Oopsie. There you go. 1.17500, nearly there. Okay, nearly there, but it ended up coming back all the way and coming back to the consolidation area. Okay. So it's still looking to just wait for the market to, maybe a little bit deeper, maybe somewhere around these lows. So I can place a position as a long and then rally until my main target of 120. Okay, so my main target is at 120, but I'm happy to have a position around these lows. My stop loss is below this white line at 1.153, and my take profit at 120. It's a good trade. It gives you 312, nearly 400 pips take profit. 92 pips is stop loss. Okay, so it's a good trade. It's nearly it's a 1 to 4. So if you put $100, you're gonna get $430, $400 back. It's a risk, of course. The $100 is a risk, but it's always worth to have the risk when we know there's a potential good setup. Okay. Now moving over to the New Zealand against the US dollar, just recapping that again. Very simple. We have this trade was pending position since last week, and we got that into the last week on Friday. Okay, after Jerome Powell gave his speech onto the Jackson Hole Symposium event, and now we trading at the sometimes at the entry price, a little bit below entry price, so a bit in profit, but very minimal profit. So not much happening over here, but of course make sure to be watching the position as possible, okay? Because we need to make, I would say, we need to make a decision. If the NFP comes in higher, then it's good for us. But if the NFP comes lower, I would say that it's not going to be bad for us, but it's just going to take a longer period of time for the trade to move on to the direction we want. Because Jerome Paul already mentioned that he moved from to positive interest rates decision to negative interest rates decision. So that means he is basically turning data dependent to dovish, and that he's open to more cuts. So that's the most important scenario. So again, I'm still believing on the New Zealand dollar shorts positions. Okay. Cool. Coming back here. US dollar yen. Okay. The US dollar yen trade have been target hit already, and it's back into the consolidation era. My main target for the US dollar yen is down, as I've mentioned, at 144. And better than ever, I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to be looking to go down. So short position. So if I get a market entry just where it is, my take profit's at 144. Again, this is a trade that may take some time. My stop loss is above that level, okay, at 150, 140, 149. There you go. That would be a good trade. It's a nearly, it's basically 369 pips stop take profit, and 125 pips is a stop loss. So that's basically a 1 to 3 trade. So if you put $100, you're going to get back 300. If you put 10, you're going to get back 30, around that. Okay, being on the entry and being into the market entry price. Cool. So that's the first. Yeah, that's my second position actually into the US dollar Japanese yen shorts. Okay. Now moving on. Is it a question here? Oh, no, that's from previously. Okay, I was just reading. Thought it was a question. Anyways, so moving on, we have Aussie CAD. So we have Aussie CAD as a short position. Oops, sorry. We have Aussie CAD as a short position. We caught a beautiful short position here. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but it was very great. But it's gone now. So what we want is we want to try to have the same sort of position short again. We are in a consolidation phase again. So I would like to wait the market to go a little bit up, maybe around 90 cents or a little bit up in the 90 cents and 100. 90 cents and 100, yeah, around these levels. Let me just put the line here. 90, 100, yeah, that's okay. Style, let me put this into line and a white. So if the market gets back to that level, I would be happily looking to sell that. Okay, so then I would be with a short position around this, a stop loss is just above these highs, and a take profit just at the bottom of the consolidation. This is one of the highest risk reward trade we got so far. So I'm, really good believer that the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar can strengthen because of oil prices in the near future. Okay, so if that position makes sense to you, then that's great. Otherwise, it's completely fine as well. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that I'm not here to show you that positions are you have to catch these, you have to catch that. No, it's completely different from everyone. Okay. But yeah, that's the position on Aussie CAD, looking to short the market at 90 cent 100. But if we see that the 90 cent already is failing to go higher, I don't mind to have a position at 90 cents. Okay, I don't mind to have a position at 90 cents, and we can go from there. Okay, cool. Now coming back here. So we have US dollar, Japanese yen, we have the pound against the US dollar, we have the euro against the US dollar, we have the Aussie against the CAD. Now we have the New Zealand against the US dollar as well. So that's already 5 positions. And that's pretty much about it. I don't think the US dollar CAD would be good short. Well, it could be a short position, but I think based on what I know already, take these drones off. Based on what I know already, we could be coming down around 137 800, 137 600, 500 around this level here. Let me show you. Uh, 137 500. Oh, what? Oh, 800. Sorry. Yeah, 137 800. So I think we could go. What about US dollar CAD? Is at 20% on the FinLogix? Yeah, that's exactly the one I'm looking at. The US dollar CAD is at 14% on that. So I'm looking to short that. Maybe in a market entry price, it would be great. So if we have a market entry price here, take profit somewhere around there, and then stop losses just above these highs. It won't be the best risk reward. I'm just trying to think where it could be. If we think that this could be the bottom, then we put a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, and we wait for at least a 50% retracement. Stake profits would be at 180, 137, 800, and the stop losses would be above the 80%. That's a much better trade. Okay, so I think I would wait the price to go back at 50%, and then from there I may have a position going down to 137, 800. Okay, so that's pretty much the trades I had for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. As I say, it was going to be a bit of a quicker webinar. So hopefully I've made it some trades idea quick and easy for everyone. Now, don't forget, tomorrow we'll be here again. So from 4 to 5 p.m. we'll be here. Bring your questions, bring your friends as well. Don't forget to bring your friends. It's always good to have new people here. And then from there, and then we go from there basically. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll chat to you tomorrow. See you guys. Bye bye.